we are going to be looking at the add-on mod for forestry, More Bees. This actually adds 44 new species of bees. I've tried my best to try and show you how to breed these in the best applicable order, but it was fairly difficult, so try and stay with me on these. This also adds a few new items, one new hive, and it also helps you get a lot of other items from other mods. So if you are looking at this mod and you're saying, hey, I don't have 44 new species of bees, then you may not have some of the mods installed that this mod actually adds onto. A few of them I can think of off the top of my head are Tinker's Construct, Draconic Evolution, Industrial Craft 2, and Extreme Reactors. And then maybe one or two more that I can't think of. But if you don't have those mods installed, you won't need the breeds that give the stuff for those mods anyway, so don't worry about that. But anyway, let's get into it. First up, you're going to notice in the world is these rock hives appearing. These are going to produce rock combs, these produce rocky bees, and they are the only bee found in rocky hives, which they can be found in the overworld where there are large areas of exposed rock, so like on extreme hills and things like that. They also do spawn underground. They will also spawn with like iron and coal around them, even if it is at higher than the maximum level that iron would like usually spawn at, so watch out for those. You can dig these up quite often in your quarries, and also, again, they're normally exposed on like the top of mountains and that, on like flat, rocky kind of surfaces like extreme hills. So it's probably easiest to find them that way if you're looking for these. So firstly, before we get into all the different breeds that this mod adds to forestry, I'm actually going to go through the items. Firstly, you've got the sweet frame. There are 3 new frames you can put into your apiaries from More Bees. The first one is the sweet frame. This is going to production up to 2.5 times. So this is really good for adding production to your bees. Its genetic decay is 1.1, which means it is going to slightly speed up the decomposition or genetic decay of your ignoble bees. So if you are using these frames, I would suggest trying to only use pristine bees where possible. The mutation rate is 0.5, so it's going to halve that mutation rate. Lifespan is 1, so I'm guessing that doesn't affect the lifespan at all. And the durability is 120. As with all frames, do not forget you can enchant them and get unbreaking and mending on them. The next one is the super cooled frame. This has 300 durability over the 120 of the sweet frame. This has 3.5 times production, 2 times the genetic decay, however, and it only has a quarter of the usual mutation rate, and it takes the lifespan down a bit. However, I think the benefits far outweigh the negatives here, with production being at 3.5%. Sorry, I didn't actually show you how to get this one. So the sweet frame, you make in the carpenter with sticks and a untreated frame and some honey. The super cooled frame, you make again in the carpenter with 4 copper ingots, 1 impregnated frame, and 4 sticks. If you haven't already seen about impregnated frames, etc., I would recommend watching the first 3 parts to my forestry series, which are already out on my channel. And you can leave some crushed ice in there for that one. Last but not least is the mutating frame, and it does what it says on the tin. It's going to up your mutation rate to 3 times. This is fantastic for mutating bees if you're trying to really get a lot of breeds going, and especially with the 44 added, you're really going to need it. It does take production down to 0.9, so hardly touching it really. Genetic decay is at 1.5% times, however, and the lifespan is normal again, durability 240. So they are the 3 new frames added by the More Bees mod. Then we have the items, so it does add diamond fragments. Quite simply, when you get the diamond fragments, you put them in a 3x3 grid, it gives you a diamond. Same with emerald fragments, you're going to get an emerald. Nether star fragments, you actually only need 4 of them, put them in with some lava into a carpenter, and you get a nether star, which is pretty OP. Metallic propolis in a centrifuge, this is going to give you metallic grains, and then also some propolis as well. Metallic grains can be put into a carpenter in different recipes here. You can put them in an H layout with some water to get some pulverized gold, in a V layout to get pulverized copper, in a inverted V to get iron, and in a cross you can get lead, a selection like this to get tin. This sort of H about the middle is for nickel. In each corner will get you aluminum, and 3 at the top, and then 1 in each bottom corner will get you osmium. And then in a jumping jacks kind of style, you can get silver like that. Hope you guys like my descriptions there. Then you get crystal propolis, which gives you crystal grains. And in a carpenter, in a jumping jack, this will get you apatite. An H will get you an emerald fragment. Each corner will get you some redstone, and then like this in each side will get you nether quartz. So some pretty cool bits there. They also add some new combs. You've got the rocky comb, which you're going to get from the rocky hive, which can be used to make bee houses and apiarist chests. The dirty comb, pretty basic, gives dirt. The withering comb, this one will give bones, coal, and refractory wax. The slimy comb will give slime balls, which is pretty useful. Then you've got the metallic comb, and that's going to give you beeswax, metallic propolis, and honeycombs. And then also the crystal one, which again is going to give you the crystal propolis, which we just looked at. So now we're going to go on to how to get these combs and all the different bees. I've got 4 chests in front of me, and I feel like if you're from the UK, you'll know this. I feel like I'm playing Deal or No Deal when I'm looking at this, which is a TV show if you guys aren't aware. So firstly, we're going to be looking at the rocky kind of ones. This is going to go through rocky, dirty, clay, sandy, and prismarine first. This is a bit all over the place, and again, I've tried my best to do this in the most appropriate route, but it is a bit messy with these ones. The branches aren't as simple as they are in the base forestry mod. So, the rocky ones are the ones you're going to get from the rocky hives. You want to put those of a meadows queen, or princess even, I always say this wrong. So you're going to want to put a rocky and a meadows to get dirty. Dirty are going to give you the dirty combs. You're then going to want to use dirty with marshy, which is your basic marshy bee from forestry, which you find in swamps. And you're going to get clay. That's actually going to give clay a 50% chance to give free clay and also a dirty comb. You also can use your dirty bee with a modest queen to get sandy, and sandy is going to give a 70% chance to get red sand, a 40% chance to get normal sand, and also dirt as well. You can then use your clay one, which you got here, with an obsidian bee to get prismarine, and prismarine will give you honeycombs, some prismarine crystals, and prismarine shards. Now, to get obsidian, you're going to want to put your rocky with a cultivated, and that will give you hardened. Hardened give rocky combs. And then hardened with a steadfast bee will then get you your obsidian, which you're going to need down here with clay to get the prismarine. Obsidian gives a rocky comb and also a 10% chance to actually get a piece of obsidian itself. Next up, you are going to go straight back to the rocky queens. So rocky and boggy, which you're going to have gotten from the base game, will give you slimy, and slimy, as you guessed it, is how you're going to get your slimy combs, and like we looked at earlier, that's how you get slime balls. You're then going to want to use fiendish with slimy to get a magma slimy, and that's going to have a 55% chance to give you a slime ball from Tinker's Construct. Then you're going to want to use your prismarine, which we got over here, with a slimy to get blue slimy. That is then got a 55% chance to give these slime balls from Tinker's Construct. Then you're going to want to use the blue slimy with redstone. Redstone is from Steadfast and Obsidian here. That's how you get redstone. This gives redstone. What a shock. Then you're going to use that redstone with the blue slimy to get purple slimy, which then has a 55% chance to give these slime balls from Tinker's Construct. So I hope that was fairly easy to follow. As I said, these ones do dart about a bit more than in the base game, so I'm trying my best here, guys. If you do like the content you're seeing, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and let me know in the comments, is this the best way for me to show you these? If there's a different way you'd prefer to see it, etc., do let me know. I really like to hear you guys' thoughts. Again, I am making these tutorials for you to watch, so I want to make sure that I'm making this as easily digestible as possible. So any positive criticisms or any way that you would prefer to see this, just let me know and I can take that on board for future videos. So into the next chest, we're going to start off from where we left off with the redstone. So Imperial and a redstone will get you an emerald. Emerald is how you get the emerald fragments. This also gives a crystal comb. You can also use redstone with Imperial to get a ruby queen. Ruby gives a 10% chance of a ruby from Biomes of Plenty mod. Then we're going to go back up here. So obsidian, which we got in the previous chest. So obsidian and Imperial give lapis. Lapis gives lapis. What a shock. And then we're going to use your lapis and imperial to get a sapphire. Sapphire is the sapphire from Biomes of Plenty. That's what they will give you. Then you're going to use your lapis again with a sinister bee to get quartz. Quartz will give a 20% chance of nether quartz. Then you're going to use your quartz with an industrious to get a certus, which is going to give a 20% chance of a certus quartz dust from Applied Energistics 2 mod. Again, if you don't have these mods installed, you probably won't see these bees available. Then you're going to want to use your emerald one, which is the one we got back up here, with a quartz, which you've just got here, to get a diamond. That's how you're going to get diamond fragments. Then we're going to go back to here. So redstone, again with fiendish this time, gets you sulfur. That has a 15% chance to give you sulfur from Industrial Craft 2. You can also get simmering combs. Then redstone with lapis, and remember we got lapis up here with an obsidian and an imperial. So lapis and redstone will then get you apatite, which is a really cool way of getting apatite for your fertilizer for forestry. Then we're going to dart back up here, where you can use your obsidian with fiendish to get metallic. Metallic give metallic combs, which give you the metallic propolis. Then obsidian and metallic give lead. That gives you lead dust, which again is from Industrial Craft 2 and other mods that add it. So I don't know if that'll work with all mods that add lead. Then an austere and lead get you radioactive, and radioactive has a 5% chance to give you uranium ore. Uranium ore is a bit more rare as well and a bit harder to find. Not super rare, so having a bee with it is pretty useful. Then we're going to dart back down here now that we have our radioactive. And remember, we've got our redstone. So redstone and radioactive is then going to make yellowite. Yellowite is from the Extreme Reactors mod, and you're going to get a 5% chance to get that. Again, I hope that was the easiest way to work around that. In the next chest, we're going to follow on from metallic. So just as a recap, metallic is obsidian and fiendish, okay? And then with that metallic, we're then going to put it with an industrious to get iron. That gives a 15% chance of iron dust. We're then going to go with iron and industrious to get nickel, which is a 15% chance for nickel dust. We're then going to go back up here, where metallic and industrious will give copper, with a 15% chance to get copper dust. Copper with industrious then gives you osmium, which again is the 15% chance for the osmium dust, and that is from the mechanism mod. Now we're going to go up here again, where metallic and industrious will also give you tin. So you can see there's, when you put metallic with industrious, there's a chance you could get different breeds of bees. Tin dust, metallic and imperial gives you gold, which is a 10% chance of gold. Tin and gold. Tin is up here, remember? This is where we made tin, so industrious and metallic. Tin and gold then makes you silver, which gives you a 12% chance at silver dust. I don't know how they worked out these percentages. Then we're going to use imperial and gold to make platinum, and that's going to give you a 10% chance at pulverized platinum from thermal foundation. Then we're going to go down here. These are a bit on their own. Industrious and metallic gives aluminum with a 15% chance for pulverized aluminum, again from thermal foundation. And then tin and demonic. Remember, tin we made up here with metallic and industrious. Tin and demonic make cobalt, and that gives you a 15% chance from Tinker's Construct for a cobalt nugget. And then lastly but not least, we've got copper and demonic, and copper, remember, is made up here with metallic and industrious again. We're going to use copper and demonic to make ardite, and again, that's in the Tinker's Construct mod, and that's a 15% chance. I'm actually pretty impressed with how well I'm doing here. Believe it or not, I'm not using a script or anything as I'm filming this. This is actually just all from memory, and I've memorized these to the best of my ability before filming this video. So I'm actually pretty impressed at how well I'm doing so far. The last one is austere and demonic, again from the base forestry mod, which is going to give you apocalyptic. And then with apocalyptic, and this one's a bit confusing, apocalyptic and gold. Remember, we made gold with metallic and imperial. So gold and apocalyptic is going to give you iridium. Oh, and I'm so sorry. Apocalyptic give you 20% chance for gunpowder, 20% for blaze, and 5% for a gas tier. So Apocalyptic and Gold give Iridium, and that's got a 5% chance for pulverized Iridium. You're then going to use Apocalyptic with Radioactive to make Uranic, which is a 15% chance for crushed uranium. And again, Radioactive is from Austere and Lead. That's how you get that. Then we are going to go to Apocalyptic and Demonic get you Withering. And one thing to note, the Withering and Wither bees actually need a wither head on top of the hive or they will not produce anything. So Apocalyptic and Demonic make Withering, which gives you Wither Skeleton Skull. You need the Wither Skulls on top of the hives or you won't get any. Then Ender and Withering make Wither, which has a chance to get Neverstar fragments, which is what we showed you earlier in the Carpenter to get those. You can then use your Redstone, which we found earlier, with Radioactive to get Resonating. Resonating just gives a Simmering Comb, so I don't really get the point in that. Diligent and Tropical, very random, gives a Stringy Queen, and that is 70% for String, 30% for a Stringy Comb, and 30% for a Silky Comb. And then lastly, Austere and Ender is going to give you a Draconic Queen, which gives you the Draconium Dust from Draconic Evolution, and also some Mysterious Combs. So, as well, there were two more I forgot, I'm so sorry. Emerald bees also need an emerald block or an emerald ore under their hive to produce emerald fragments, and it's the same with diamonds, with needing an emerald block or an emerald ore under their hive to produce diamond fragments. I don't think it affects the production rate if you use the block or the ore, but that is the raw ore, by the way. So you might need to use Silk Touch to get that and place it directly under the hive. Apocalyptic bees, which is these ones we just briefly spoke about, they actually need TNT under the hive to produce gunpowder, the blaze powder, and gas tears. So they also need TNT under the hive. Prismarine need to be made in an ocean biome as well. So the Prismarine bees, they will not actually work unless you make them in an ocean biome. Uranic bees need to be made in a nether biome. Draconic bees need to also be made in a nether biome. So these bees, these draconic ones, these also need to be in a nether biome. For the flower types that different bees may need, and remember you can use these in your analyzer, if it says ore, so it needs an ore nearby or underneath it, it's iron ore, coal ore, copper ore, and tin ore. If it says it needs redstone, that's actually going to be redstone ore or redstone block. Emerald is the emerald is the emerald ore and emerald block. Again, any ores, it will need it underneath the hive. If it says it wants water as a flower type, it wants lily pads. TNT is the TNT. Uranium actually wants uranium ore, resonating ore, or yellowite. And slime will want a whole slime block. So remember, if you get confused or you forget what the bee needs and it says it hasn't got any appropriate flowers nearby, get a honey drop, put it in your analyzer, and then remember what I just said. So for ores, it's iron, coal, copper, or tin underneath the hive. Redstone is the redstone ore or redstone block. Emerald is emerald ore, emerald block. Diamond is diamond ore or diamond block. Water, it needs to be a lily pad nearby. TNT has to have TNT under the hive. Uranium can be uranium, resonating ore, or yellowite, and slimes are slime blocks. There are also a few harmful effects they add. Wither will give mobs and players in the bee's territory the wither effect. Again, use your apiarist's gear to protect from this. Radiation gives mobs and players in the bee's territory the hunger effect, and slime gives them a jump boost effect, which is actually quite cool. Also, with the dusts you get from the ore bees, so the iron ore dust, the tin ore dust, more bees will actually add the dusts if there is no dust for a metal that is supported by the mod. So you don't need to worry about that. And the ender bees in the main base game of Forestry need a dragon egg nearby. There is actually a tweak in the configs of this mod so that ender bees, when it says it needs a dragon egg, you can actually use chorus plants as a flower for end bees with this mod, which is much easier than having to get a dragon egg. So that is it for the More Bees mod. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this expanded your knowledge on forestry. It's a very comprehensive mod. It's actually my favourite mod, and that is why I've decided to do this first for my tutorials on my channel. If you have enjoyed it, please do click the subscribe button. Next week, we will be discussing magic bees, and that is another really cool mod that adds some more bees. It adds a lot of items as well, and I'm really excited to get into that. So make sure you click subscribe, give this video a like, and leave a comment to tell me if you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next week for magic bees.